Good morning, welcome. Students, judges, and distinguished guests, thank you for joining us as we officially open the first Pierce American College of Greece Diamond Challenge to be held at our school. Pierce has partnered with the University of Delaware to serve as the sole pitch site in Greece for this international competition. Since the foundation of this challenge in 2012, the Diamond Challenge has reached more than 3,500 students from 155 schools in 30 countries worldwide. This year alone, there are schools in Armenia, Spain, Liberia, China, India, United States, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Ukraine, South Korea, and Jamaica, to name a few, who are also hosting their own Diamond Challenge. These are the countries and students whom the winning team of Pierce will compete against in April in the semifinals and finals at the University of Delaware. The winning team of today's event will receive a prize package provided by the University of Delaware that includes hotel costs, meals, and other costs. The American College of Greece will pay for the airfare of the winning team of Pierce to attend the semifinals and finals. However, I must add that although only one team will win today in advance, I truly believe that every team participating today is successful. Why? Because today you are starting what I know will become an annual event at Pierce and a tradition that students will look to or forward to for many years. So I congratulate every student who will be on stage today. I now ask for a little patience from the audience. My speech is going to be a bit like an Oscar who's just won, an actor who's won an Oscar award. I need to thank some people. To our teachers, advisors, and students who have spent many hours, days, weeks, and months organizing this event, thank you. My thank you to the various members of the ACG family who have helped us in many aspects behind the scenes, from arranging for guest speakers, creating menus, serving as the MC, organizing the logistics behind the conference, getting publicity, and so much more. I thank you. We would not be up here without your hard work and dedication. To our judges who have volunteered their time to be here today, I thank you. Your support, your guidance and feedback today are invaluable to our students. I thank you. I wish all of you today the best. I thank you for coming. All of the students out there, good luck today. I'm proud of each and every one of you. Let's have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal. Now, we have a brilliant scientist among us today, Professor Makios, who will be the guest speaker, the keynote speaker for today. Before inviting him to the podium, I would like to say a few, points from his 50, 60, maybe year-old career. So, Professor Vasilis Makios is the co-founder, general director of Coralia Clusters Initiative. Professor Makios earned his PhD in 1966 PhD in engineering from the Max Planck Institute for Plasma Physics and the Technical University in Munich. He has taught and conducted research since 1962 in Germany, Canada, and Greece. The professor has published over 120 papers and numerous patents in many fields, including microwave and optical communications and photovoltaic systems. It is a great honor, Professor, to have you here with us today.
I'm very happy to be with you today. I'm always happy when I'm among young people because I think that you are the generation that can change the world. And I'll go into business. Welcome to the world of development through two magic words. The magic words are called innovation and entrepreneurship. What is innovation? You are young people and you should know that innovation is a very smart idea that can become a product and can change the world. But what is the process of this idea becoming a product? This is called entrepreneurship. You need a team like yourself to sit down for a year, two or so, and create something, a product which brings either wealth or benefits society. Let's go into some examples. What do you think was the first innovative idea that changed the world? The wheel. Without the wheel, there would be no transportation. Who was the entrepreneur that made it a commodity? Henry Ford. So Henry Ford transformed the wheel into a commodity, and the world is going on with the car and anything else. Now, in the antiquity, in the mythology, in the Greek mythology, there are two people that were involved in innovation. The one was Prometheus. He stole from God's fire. And what was the result? The result was the first industrial revolution. Without fire, you cannot create anything. Now, the second one, which is Sisyphus. Sisyphus stole intelligence from gods. He was punished, in Corinth, he had to push the stone on a hill. Now, he gave the world the idea of philosophy. And there is a very famous book by Albert Camus, Le Mythe de Sisyphe, or Mythos to Sisyphus, which is very important. You should read it. Now let's come to today. What changed the world in the 20th century? First, penicillin, of course. Second, the transistor and the laser. The transistor created the computer, and the computer is a common commodity. The laser and the optical fibers created the World Wide Web. And the two of them gave the entrepreneur, which is Steve Jobs, the idea of creating this box. This is the commodity today, nothing else. And you know that this commodity is giving wealth, interest, ideas, and so on and so forth to the world. Now, coming to Coralia. Coralia Clusters Initiative was created by Jorge Sanchez, Nikos Voyagis, and myself 15 years ago to do what? To create clusters, which is, I would say, collaborative work in high technology. We created 3 clusters in ICT, in microelectronics, which develops into IoT, Internet of Things, in space technology, and in gaming. And then with Eurobank, we created the Egg, which is an accelerator. So we are addressing ourselves to young people who would like to become entrepreneurs and bring wealth to this country, which is needed badly, I would say, in this time. And you know, the result is fantastic because we have companies both from Coralia and the Egg that are very successful. Recently, one of them was sold in America for a lot of money, more than 100 million. 2 or 3 from Egg are being in the process of bringing products which will change the world in medicine and elsewhere. So I think the essence today is innovation driving excellence. And now coming to today's activity. Today, the Diamond Challenge competition event is going to be a landmark in your life. It is the first time you are confronted with a universal issue of the development of a new social impact model. You have to find a solution to compete with your fellow students in Pierce College, American College, first competition here, and then later perhaps go abroad in Delaware. It is exciting. And I want to congratulate you for the effort, your ideas, your enthusiasm, and the good results you are going to present to us to the jury here during the pitching competition. Two are the ingredients which are important for this competition. Create a team, form a team, and through the collaboration, so team and collaboration, using the complementarity of your fellow, I would say co-workers or whatever, go into a solution that definitely can change the world. That's how the world is changing, by smart ideas. And now I would like to give you some advice for your period of life, which you will begin forming your character, that will help you develop your skills in your life, and should focus again in two things. You know, I'm always addressing those two things. The world is digital. You know, two are the words that you have to have in mind: knowledge and games. Games is exercise. Knowledge is in-depth acquaintance with the problems of the world, which is language. You know, language is very important, and you speak two languages, and this is comparison. It's the first degree of your comparison, comparing two different items. Umberto Eco, in his semiotics, is getting involved in this idea. Philosophy, mathematics, science, creation of arts, creating arts. You should go and see Leonardo da Vinci exhibition in town. It's fantastic. And of course, social behavior. And now going into exercise, into the gaming, this is competition. This is a striving word. You know, when you compete with your intellect, think of chess. When you compete with your body, think of Olympic Games. What are you striving? You are striving for excellence. This is amila, they call it in Greek. And this should be a key issue in your life. And I'm going to give you an example that you should keep in your life as I would say, a visionary picture. And this picture is in the Vatican. It's called, can I hear? Oh yeah, okay. In this picture, it is depicted what happened 2,500 years ago in this area of the world, in Asia Minor, in the Ionian coast, in Greece, and in Italy, in Magna Graecia, and changed really the world. In the front here, you see the development of science and engineering, and in the middle, you see the involvement of philosophy. Now here, on the back is Thales. Thales, Anaximandros, and Anaximenes were the first people through curiosity and through observation that they said, what is the universe made of? It's made of soil, air, and liquid. But they said something else, which was the first postulate in science in the world, and this is, what was the thing that can change the one to the other? This was fire. We call fire today the fourth element, and this is called plasma. This is the way that the universe is created, by burning hydrogen into helium. This is the universe. Now, in this was in Milet and in Samos, and you know, there the philosophers were sitting in the agora and they were discussing with each other. And from that came out Heraclitus, which was fluid dynamics, Aristarchus, that said that the earth is turning around the sun, and they told him he's crazy. And of course, Parmenides, the atomic, of course, Democritus with the atom, and Parmenides, who said he was, my teacher Heisenberg said that he is the foundation of the Western civilization, because he said there are two ways of thinking: the way of truth, which is God's, and the way of uncertainty, which is human. Now, if you go further to Pythagoras, Pythagoras was in southern Italy, in Croton, and what did he say? This famous triangle, which is the golden rule, is the essence of symmetry. And what is the result of this symmetry? Parthenon. All structures from that time on depend on the golden rule. You know, if you go to the Parthenon, there are 8 columns by 17 columns, and this is the golden rule. All the structures in the architecture are following that rule. But he said also that universe is created by 4 numbers. 1 is you and me, is the atom. 2 is one-dimensional space. 3 is two-dimensional space. 4 is three-dimensional space, is the pyramid. And that's all. But he had to give those abstract numbers a symmetrical aspect. Somebody had to create those numbers. And this was music. If you take a chord and you say 1/2 is La, 2/3 is C, 3/4 is Si bemol, and this is, I would say, harmony. This is music. So you see that they were going into essence. And then is Euclid, and he formed this, I would say, Euclidean geometry, which is valid up to today. And his business was with many body problems. And this is manifested to crystallography. This is the structure of, I would say, matter. And the rest here is Archimedes, and Archimedes was the engineer. He was the founder of buoyancy, anosy. The ships, the airplanes are depending on that. And of course, he was the inventor also of photovoltaics. He took the mirrors and he took the sun's energy and burned the ships of Athens. So you see in the front things which are still valid today. That was 2.5 years ago. You know, in this picture, in the middle is Plato and Aristotle. Plato created the world of ideas. And the world of ideas is called stochasmos, stochastic processes. If you know, there's a famous book by the Ulysses of James Joyce, where Molly, Penelope, is sitting in bed at the end of the book, and he thinks of things, and she's going a random walk. You know, this is the world of ideas. Through random walk, which is called today chaos, or dynamic processes, you can change the world because you can sit and see things from essence into being. Now, next to him is Aristotle. Of course, Plato looks on the top because he takes the ideas from the universe. And Aristotle is looking down. He is what? The library. He took all that knowledge and he created the library. This is called deterministic world. You have to have the tools in your hands, and that is what is the school. The school gives you education, knowledge, and that is what you should keep in mind. Of course, Hypatia is here, and this is the first woman engineer who said 300 years after Christ that the earth is rotating around the sun, and she was. And in the middle is Diogenes, so you shouldn't forget humor. In life, humor is very important, and that's what you should keep. And I will close by saying, open your wings without fear and with weapons, your intelligence, your knowledge, and the essence for striving for excellence. Conquer the world. Thank you.
Professor, this was so inspiring. I think that you've given the extra step to the kids to go ahead. Thank you very much again.
Good luck to you today.
Thanks, sir. Κατακλεισμούς. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Πάρτε το αυτό.
Εντάξει. Great. So I think we're all in another dimension now. I think we're all really inspired and looking forward to those great ideas. Because as the professor said, it all starts from ideas. And a good team also. Good. Now. Okay. Great. So, with the professor's remarkable speech, it's time for the pitching to begin. So, a couple of house rules. First of all, each team gets 5 minutes. They have to present their case in 5 minutes. There are 3 minutes after that for a Q&A session with a jury, if needed, okay? Overall, we're going to see 11 teams, as you've seen in your program. And before we start pitching, you start pitching actually, I would like to introduce the jury, our judges. Dimitra Zarda, the Regional Senior Director, Devices Sales Lead, Central Eastern Europe at Microsoft. Thank you very much for being with us. Christos Litras, Managing Partner at Hippocampus.io. Thank you, sir. Jorge Sanchez, PhD, Chief Strategy and Financial Officer of Coralia Clusters Initiative. Thank you, sir. Peggy Veliotou, Partner at KPMG. Thank you, Ms. Veliotou. And last but not least, our very own Professor Katerina Voutsina, PhD, Assistant Professor in Entrepreneurship, Area Coordinator in Entrepreneurship Management Pathway at the School of Business and Economics at the American College of Greece. Now, there's nothing more to say now. We start the pitching. One last thing. The order of the presentations is random, apart from the very first group. The first group that will open this pitching session, named Rampit, has a prior obligation, and they asked us if they could be first. And of course we accepted. So I'm going to give the floor to the team to present us their case. Let's have the best applause possible. Great. Okay, your 5 minutes begin now.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We know you've all been waiting for the presentation of our product, Rampit, which is a portable, light-weighted ramp that can be wrapped. This is our logo, but before we begin to tell you more about it, let's introduce ourselves first.
I'm Evridiki Koletsu. I'm the team leader, CEO, and coordinator of the company.
Where do they point?
Δεν αλλάζει.
Δεν αλλάζει.
We've stopped the time, so. And you're very eager to do it, so yeah.
Oh, it's fine. Okay. So,
As I said, I'm Evridiki Koletsu. I'm the team leader, coordinator, and CEO of the company.
and I'm Lina Rizopoulou, and I'm the designer and curator of the campaign. The reason we decided to make this product is simply because we want to make the world a better place.
A commonly noticed problem in our country is the difficulties that disabled people go through daily. One of them being not having access to ramp all over the cities. You would be surprised by how many of them are blocked by either garbage cans, pillars, or even parked cars.
These statistics are here to prove our point. 200,000 children, Greek children, are disabled, and only 15% of them goes to school. As for adults, 53.5% claim to have no governmental support, and all of these problems arise simply from the fact that they have no accessibility. But this isn't just our country. Look at this map. Wherever you see an orange country, it means that this country has no specific measures for the equality of disabled people, which simply justifies the importance of this problem.
This is why we created Rumpit, a ramp that can be wrapped and taken everywhere inside the silk bag that comes with it. With Rumpit, you will never have to worry about a ramp not being accessible.
The ramp will be made out of a magnesium alloy, which is composed by 14% of silicon carbide nanoparticles and 86% of magnesium. That makes it ultra strong, very light, elastic, and also environmentally friendly. This is the prototype that we have designed. You can see the bottom, the side, and the front. The dots are suction caps that will help the device attach to different surfaces. And this is the bag and the product, how the product will look when it's closed. Now, what's very important for a product is that the target audience is both disabled people and parents with baby trolleys, which is approximately 35% of the world's population. And we will try to reach them through television, online ads, magazines, and newspapers. And we would also like to sponsorship the Paralympics. And the money for the advertisement will be divided by 15%, 10%, 40%, and 35% accordingly, as you can see on the table.
The product can have benefits to both customers' head and heart. In a few words, it will give them independence and an unsurmountable sense of independence and strength.
This is a way that our product could be advertised in the near future, showing its design and letting everyone know that they can have an opportunity in life. And as for our office, we would like it to be easily accessible for our customers and pleasant for the workers. And we would, of course, have a specific policy that could be adjustable. That it will be adjustable. Sorry.
After careful research, we have concluded to the following. The effectiveness of a product like ours can be measured according to its accessibility, as for its use and its cost. As you can see, Rumpit is the best product in the market right now, being highly accessible and low cost. Concerning our business plan now, this is a diagram that shows the general business costs altogether, and altogether make a total of $64,500 for working 9 months per year. The price per product is going to be 50 euros, 30 euros for production, which leaves us with 20 euros gross profit per unit. In total, the gross profit adds up to 161,250, and our net profit is going to be approximately 96,750. Finally, our idea is going to be financed by two mixed ways. 60% will come from our own savings, and as for the remaining 40%, it will be completed with a bank loan, which will be easily obtained concerning our 64% margin. Thank you for your attention.
We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Thank you very much.
Should we keep that?
Very inspiring idea. We've got 3 minutes now. The jury can pose any questions, and you guys have to answer.
Hi guys, thank you very much for the presentation. My question would be in regard with the really nice product that you guys talked about, would be, have you built the prototype yet? are you in the process of building a prototype yet? In what kind of stage, is the actual product development-wise?
We, of course, we have the design prepared, as you saw, and we have started making a prototype it's a wooden prototype. We don't have the magnesium alloy in our hands right now to build the actual prototype, but yes.
So also, as you can see here at the bottom, our product, in order to be closed this year, will be open. And then it's going to fold, and it's going to be in the form as it is closed. So this is the idea behind it.
Okay, so you have a time plan in regard with when you can have a prototype that will have the consistency and will be made out of the material that you guys talked about?
A month,
Okay.
probably.
Thank you for the passion, the storytelling, excellent idea with significant impact. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you are planning to staff your company with additional capacities and people?
So actually, we're going to have 10 workers, and it's going to be to the environment. So this is how we imagine our office that's going to be. We're going to have 10 workers working there, and this is a different part from the production. And these 10 workers will assist several customers that will come in need for the ramp, or if there is a minor problem to the ramp, they will come here and the workers will assist them. And each worker will be paid 1,140 euros per month. Yes.
Okay, I think we're set. We're okay. Thank you very much for your excellent presentation.
Thank you.
So, as we said, it's a random order. So let's see which group is going to be the second one. So I think we can have the second team on the floor now. Plastic Eclipse. Alexis Papadopoulos is the team leader. Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Plastic is everywhere. Plastic bags, straws, coffee cups, just to name a few. Everyone knows the problem the pollution that single-use plastic causes, but nobody has an incentive to change it. Today, we do. I'm Alex, this is Thomas, and this is Vasilis. Let's present you a social innovation concept.
You may be wondering where our idea comes from. For the last couple of years, my family and I have tried to reduce our plastic consumption. But it has gotten extremely hard when going grocery shopping because almost everything is airtight sealed in some sort of plastic packaging. So we decided to create this company with one mission in mind. Our mission is to reduce the single-use plastic consumption by creating a shop which offers a plethora of unpackaged products ready to be bought and stored in the customer's own reusable, eco-friendly containers. But first, we need to identify the problem. Pollution due to plastic, and especially single-use plastic, is one of the most urgent problems today. 50% of plastic is created to be used only once, and 88% of all plastic ends up in landfills where it will take up to 1,000 years to decompose. Even when the plastic makes it there, wind blows it away to the rest of the ecosystem, and especially the sea, creating seas filled with plastic waste, spreading out to kilometers and destroying sea life. In 2016 alone, 335 million metric tons of plastic were produced. Plastic is also harmful to humans. 93% of Americans over the age of 6 test positive for plastic chemicals in their body. Wildlife takes a big hit as well. 100,000 marine creatures die every year due to plastic entanglement. And additionally, plastic pollution has direct correlation with environmental phenomena such as the depletion of the ozone layer and the greenhouse effect. Our solution: we're going to offer a shop which has a lot of unpackaged goods. The customer will come in with their own reusable container or one they will have bought from us, and once they get their products, they will place it in there. Thus, we will reduce the consumption of the single-use plastic that would be consumed, thus minimizing the demand for it.
Why is the idea dominant over a solution? Basically, the only other alternative right now is recycling, which isn't that much of a viable solution itself, right? People throw away trash more than they recycle. Only 12% of all plastic globally is recycled. That's a huge problem because people perceive recycling as a chore rather than a pleasurable act of helping the environment. Our idea takes advantage of that by merging it with an everyday activity, that is grocery shopping. All these above reasons ensures us that recycling is not a viable solution to the problem and cannot solve it. Now, who is our market? Since the problem we're trying to face concerns everyone, and by facing it and by solving it, we benefit everyone, thus, that makes every consumer a possible customer to us. But specifically, people with organized, people with ecological awareness, members of eco-friendly NGOs, and people that would like an organized pantry, because who wouldn't? Now, we want to support local communities, so we would prefer to purchase locally sourced goods. Thus, we'll limit the need for international transport, and by this way, we reduce the production of exhaust gas that harms the environment, and we save ourselves from extra financial costs. Our main funding will come from crowdfunding, NGOs, governments, and possible Diamond Challenge winnings, and an initial cost will be a shop's rent, the service bills such as electricity and plumbing, the employee wages and the supplies. Now, we can advertise by cooperating with governments and NGOs, but specifically governments would want to cooperate with us because it would save them from huge financial costs. Specifically, it costs the UK an approximate of £78 million a year just for landfill costs. That way, they would want to cooperate with us and save them from these costs that they can use otherwise. That way, when we both engage with the community and spread awareness about the problem, enticing them to use a store. And then, of course, we sell our products at the end. Now, by looking at this side of the competitions, we see that in one hand, recycling is perceived as really inconvenient by the people, but it is ecologically friendly. While on the other hand, throwing something away to trash is convenient, but it is not ecologically friendly. A normal supermarket is not ecologically friendly, but it is convenient. Why? As opposed to our idea, that merges being ecologically friendly and convenience to one, thus proving dominant to all other competition. Thank you, and we hope that you let us present the idea at Delaware.
Thank you very much. And now the jury can ask the questions. Ms. Rutsina.
Thank you very much for the very inspiring presentation. I would like to ask you, how do you intend to really sustain the competitive advantage over other prospective competitors who may copy this idea?
Now, we think that we don't mind if someone copies the problem because we still achieve solving the actual problem, that is the pollution. So if someone would like to copy it, it's not that big of a problem because in the end we achieve our goal. I mean, that's what the social innovation is all about, right?
Okay, and what is going to be the range of products?
Anything from normal food that is okay to be unpacked and it's healthy, to liquid soap or peanuts or everything that can be sustained unpacked.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for this presentation and your passion about the recycling thing, which is very important for all of us. And of course, it's a global problem. I would like to hear from you and maybe from Vasilis. Do you need any specific skills that you would like to have in your team to do your dream and your business plan, let's say, a reality?
I believe that everyone has a dream, and everyone has to have some skills in order to achieve it. I believe that we do have the necessary skills in order to achieve this. We have the ecological awareness, and we have the will to achieve our dreams and to make this social innovation a reality.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Excellent.
One more question.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for the excellent presentation. I want to understand a little bit more about the scalability in the country as well as global.
You want us to elaborate? Okay. So basically, we can cooperate with governments and NGOs to promote this. But about the scalability, I think the biggest problem is not that people will perceive it as inconvenient, if I get your question right, but it will require a change in behavior. That, of course, will not happen from day to day, but it will be sustainable long term. It's not inconvenient to store something at your reusable container. It's just something different. So I think that the long-term effect that this will have is beneficial.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you once again. 2 minutes for the jury to pass the grades. And let's see which team will be number 3.
Hello, everyone. We are the answer. My name is Mariella Padimitriou.
Κανέλα Παπακώστα Σαμπατακάκη.
Maria Papageletou. We recently came in touch with a very serious social problem. Not willing to stand with our hand crossed, we came up with Safe Move. Through it, we are hoping to improve today's living standard.
So, let's start. You must have all seen at some point a silver alert notification on the TV, right? Well, we most definitely have. Not just one, but multiple times. So we all acknowledge that there are many people out there who suffer from a memory loss disorder. This problem exists. Additionally, there is more to it. Young children are left all alone at the streets just because their parents' attention got attracted. So, yes, Safe Move is here to change that.
So, as we can see in the diagram, there are approximately 50 million people with dementia, and 70% of them have been wandering away at least once. Even if it is a 10-minute wandering episode versus a 10-day episode, we're still looking at potentially 3 million people who would be walking away any given year. It's huge. Dementia is a disorder of the brain. Adults with dementia are vulnerable and more likely to disappear than healthy people. Dementia, so, is neither a joke nor it should be treated as one.
Our target group: families with working parents, especially elder members with a kind of mental disorder, and families with young children.
So, our solution concludes: an RFID detector which is installed at the entrance of the house where the person who needs monitoring lives. Also, a special bracelet with a chip, GPS and panic button is placed at that person's arm. Finally, the application is downloaded to one or more family members' smartphones. So these are our products.
Moving on to our application, this is how Safe Move app is going to look like. So, in case everything is all right, Nelly, please change the slide. Okay, so when everything is all right, this will appear on screen. If not, if something happens, if someone gets off the house, you will get a danger signal. You'll be notified about it. So our advice in this is you have to be calm and don't panic. Just figure it out with our help. We will give you the exact location of the person. Nelly, change slide. Okay, so this is where the person will be because, of course, you cannot figure it out yourselves.
The advantages of our product are the following. The person with a mental disorder will be saved from an unpleasant situation. Secondly, the parents will be sure for their children's security. And secondly, and finally, the members of the family won't have to be around the house to hear the alarm, but they will be notified about the situation through our app, as Maria explained to you before.
So, our innovative idea concerns the society as it aims to the improvement of the human-centered values and living standards, to the increase of life expectancy and the creation of the feeling of safety, and as a result, it contributes to the society and its progress.
This is a research we conducted in order to get closer with our target group. Here are some photos of our interviews with elder members.
So what can the police really do about this problem? We're telling you that there is not much, because they are actually restricted by the law. Here we have a terrible incident in which a mother lost her son because he suffered from a mental disease, and she had to conduct the whole research of finding him by herself because the police was not able to help. We would like to highlight that time in such circumstances is crucial, and with Safe Move takes immediate action.
So, what about business? Our income will be brought in from selling the product, installing the application, the advertisements in the application from our sponsors, and the packages which will include extra services such as an action team, which is a service available in the future. So, our income, our planned budget will be at 7,250 euros.
So, if you want to get in touch with us, these are our emails, our Instagram account, and our website, as you can see also in our brochure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Questions?
Thank you very much. I like it. First of all, I have old parents. And secondly, I have a teenager, so it's very useful. I don't know if my son will love it, but I love it. Let me ask you this. What about your competition? Do you have competitors on that?
Yes.
And what is your added value compared to the competition?
Okay, we have looked into our competitors. We just didn't put it in the presentation because we did not have the time. There are some other applications that provide just the location of the person who went lost, but we would like to inform the relatives of that person that, you know, he got out of the house now, and go and do something or take an action. There are some other applications which are put in a pocket, or they can easily be removed. With the bracelet, will not be that easy to take off. And there are some other applications, I'm not going to say which ones, which use something like geofences, which are put around the house, or put around the house. But ours will be at the entrance of the house, so it will be informed the minute the person gets off the house. That's it.
Congratulations from my side as well. Very nice idea. Have you estimated what would be the cost, the initial cost to build such an application? I mean, this system that you described?
We are still on the building stage. We have all the technological knowledge that is needed in order to achieve it. We have to order the RFID detector and the bracelet. So here is the cost. We have analyzed it, but we do not have the time to explain it. So yes, we have estimated the cost about the bracelets and the RFID sensors, and it is all calculated to our total sum.
And also we have found the person who can create the application and the technological skills.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Could I also ask to elaborate a bit on the skills that you will need in order to sustain and further scale this endeavor?
Okay, so we will have, let me see, there will be about 3 persons who will have the technological knowledge and will have the app at all times, and they will see, they will be notified, and they will make it They will.
May call the police if the family member
Yes.
had.
Yes,
had one.
they will be in charge, and so it will be safe to use the app because we want to make sure that it's safe for the person and there will be no risks. And then there will be those persons, and in our future development, it is to build an action team, which we understand that cannot be. That we cannot do it in a large scale, but there can be an action team that can go and help the person themselves.
For example, in Attica.
Okay, I think we've passed the 3-minute
Okay.
threshold. Okay, thank you very much. Great. Okay, I think nearly everybody's done, so the floor is yours.
Thank you
Good
very
luck.
much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Penelope Kolidas. I am one of the founders and the representative of ReShelter. I would like to start off by saying that I am very grateful to each and every one of you for giving me the opportunity to present our idea right here today. Any one of you that has walked around in Athens surely must have noticed that there are tons of people that are struggling to survive with the bare minimum and definitely without a place to live in. This problem is defined as homelessness, and it is caused by unemployment and also by people coming to Greece with the purpose of staying without, however, having found a place to live in. This problem, the second one, has been exaggerated way more in the past years due to wars all around the world and refugees arriving to our country. In fact, we have seen an increase in the number of homeless people since 2011, and more specifically, there is 20,000 homeless people in the region of Attica. This number will keep on going up if we do not find a viable solution to get rid of this problem, basically. That is where ReShelter comes in. ReShelter aims towards the reintegration of homeless people into our society by giving them the opportunity to live their lives as best as they can. That means living their lives like us, being able to find a job and to start families or to support their already existing ones. On the other hand, other solutions are handout schemes. They offer the homeless people with the bare minimum to live, such as food and clothes sometimes. However, these programs are usually lacking on the medicine side, and they do not help the homeless person rebuild their life. This is where we come in, and what we're going to do is provide the homeless people with the necessary assets to rebuild their lives. That is, first and foremost, social reintegration. We are going to offer them jobs and also the necessary education, if needed, to start working, and the shelter, of course, for them to be able to live somewhere. What makes our solution special is the fact that not only is the number of homeless people reduced, but also we help underpopulated suburbs and underpopulated islands get the population to be bigger due to the fact that our shelters are going to be built there. So this is how it works. We find places available for the homeless people to stay in, and we have them come to our office to meet our social workers and psychologists. There, we offer them residence and help them find a job, while also educating them if necessary. Then they become financially stable, and they are able to pay back the rent for the house that they had lived in. Now, we know that this will need tons of money to start to work. That means we are going to need to do tons of fundraising and crowdfunding online, where people from all around the world, and we are expecting more people from Greece to support us. We are going to be in contact with a plethora of businesses that we are going to also support by giving them workers at a lower wage, the people that we are going to have educated. We are going to have support from many other non-profit organizations and charities, and also from the European Commission, which offers some programs for social innovation. That is all. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Penelope. Excellent. Questions? Yes.
Thank you very much. First of all, it is an amazing idea with a massive impact. in society, and this is a problem that all big cities face. I would like to ask, though, apart from the donations and the collaborations with this type of organizations, is there any way you may consider creating a money-making sort of mechanism inbuilt within the solution?
We had thought of selling some products to people that are willing to help, but that is all we have done up until now. Such as maybe to some of our events, people that help us will be able to come for free, per se, and that's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Just a very quick question from my side. Have you come together with a plan of what will be the necessary steps in order to take this idea and forward? I saw that you mentioned 4 different areas of services that will be given to the people that will
Yes.
the beneficiaries of your service. Okay, so do you have a plan? Where are you going to start? What comes first? What comes second? How easy, how difficult that will be? Something like that.
First, we offer them the shelter that will be renovated buildings. Then we are going to offer them the education, while also either offering them a job at our offices, or letting them work in one of their businesses or other jobs that we will need.
Okay, if we don't have another question, I think we'll thank you and allow the judges the 2 minutes. Well done. So we're reaching number 5. Let's see. Is the jury okay? Great. Okay, the floor is yours then.
Good morning, esteemed judges and wonderful audience. We are the RoboAir team, and we're really concerned about the air pollution and generally related diseases and problems regarding our air. This is why we came up with RoboAir, and we'd like to present it to you. These are what we're gonna analyze.
Climate change was nearly found 30 years ago, but this problem was identified in 1838 when Guy Candler proved with records from weather stations, from different weather stations, that carbon dioxide has increased. This is climate change. Energy crisis started as a man-made situation in America when there was an embargo in petrol, and even though it didn't mean the end of the resources, people experienced the consequences, firstly, of such an event. That's why scientists started looking for different energy resources, and energy crisis is when fossil fuels runs out and we can produce energy. The consequences of climate change are producing negative effects to our society, and some of them are the rise of sea levels, the melting of ice, and the extinction of some species, and cardiological problems to humans. Consequences of energy crisis are when, because in our society, fossil fuel, everything is dependent in fossil fuels, and when there are fossil fuels are limited, the cost will be increased and affects the economy and also the market. Our solution is the RoboAir, which is a device which is environmental friendly and transforms carbon dioxide to other forms of energy.
Now, I'm going to talk to you about the process, and we'll start from the right with our basis. Our basis, before it connects to RoboAir, has already a given demand because it has a computer inside. That half of its tank will produce electricity, which when it connects to RoboAir, it will power it up, but also part of it, because it has a lot of cables, will go to the other half of the tank, and by a water electrolysis, it will separate hydrogen from the water, and which will be then transmitted to Sector 3 of RoboAir. RoboAir has 4 sectors. The first is where the air molecules are taken in. There, another computer identifies them and emits them all except for carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is then taken to Sector 2, which is filled with silicon monoxide that absorbs 1 oxygen molecule, transforming it into carbon monoxide. Then, when it's taken to Sector 3 and gets in contact with hydrogen, it forms a gas that's similar to natural gas. Sector 4 is the drone sector, which allows it to fly. This is the designs of RoboAir, its basis, and its actual size, my school bag. Now, you will ask me, why is RoboAir the best choice in the global market? Well, I have 5 reasons to give you. It's pioneer, low cost, efficient, accurate, and a time saver. It's first in its kind because it uses theories that are now invented, so they haven't been exploited yet. Its low cost will come if we compare it with the cost of production, which, as we can see, is 300.10 euros, and its price, 300 euros, makes it cheap. It's efficient and also accurate because it uses 2 computers. So, as we all know, computers are the most accurate thing in the world. And it takes large amounts of carbon dioxide and makes them into an environmental friendly gas. It's also a time saver because one machine does 2 things: cleans air and produces energy. Now, our targeted countries, as you can see in the map, are countries that emit large amounts of carbon dioxide, like the US and China. And our niche, well, governments at first. Then we have manufacturing owners and agriculture, because governments are interested in finding ways to keep the air clean. Manufacturing and also agriculture are the largest emitters of CO2 in our world. That's why we targeted there. And our first year goals, because we like to set small goals, is to have at least 10 partners in China, which is the most industrialized and agricultural country in the world, have at least a 25% of the reduction of CO2 in this region and 100% customer satisfaction. So we would like to thank you, our team. I'm the leader and the designer of RoboAir. She is the scientist who thought of this. And before we close, and after we told you the problem, how it works, why is it special in the market, and it's our targets and the goals, we would like to leave you with one thought. Think of all the benefits that pollution-free air will have to not only in ours, but also in the next generation society. Thank you, and we're pleased to answer any of your questions.
Great. Let's save the planet, huh?
Thank you.
Okay.
Congratulations, girls. I love the RoboAir idea. How do you know that this device will work?
Well, except for it's based on theories that are tested and still being tested and prove that it has to be really good, let's say, has a really positive effect. We also have had we're now building the prototype. We know that it can do it, we have it, and we're 100% positive that because we've tested some things ourselves, that it works.
I love the passion, thanks.
Yes, no doubt, it has been an excellent idea. I would like to ask, have you thought the gains that the governments will have in clean energy? So one benefit is less pollution, okay? The other benefit is free energy. Okay, how much? For instance, you say they're gonna experience a
Yes.
reduction of 25%, 10%.
Yes.
What is gonna be the increase that they will enjoy?
Well, they will enjoy the free energy, which is something that a lot of people are trying out to find new ways of producing energy. And more specifically, one RoboAir in one go, it can produce like the amount of natural gas that one average household emits. So we think that will have a lot of benefits to our society.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much again. And let's see the sixth group.
Okay, good morning. So we're here today to talk to you about our social innovation company, Agro. So what is Agro? Well, Agro is a company, it's basically an e-shop which will provide people with low-priced, high-quality vegetables that have been rejected by retailers due to the high cosmetic standards that exist in the market right now. So why would somebody shop with Agro? Well, Agro solves 6 basic problems. The first problem is in general world hunger. Secondly, it solves the strict cosmetic guidelines by creating a change in the way of thought that retailers use when they're buying produce. It also reduces unnecessary resource exploitation, such as water and energy, which is used when they farm fruits and vegetables that are never actually used. It creates more appropriate. It helps people create a more appropriate diet, as its low-priced vegetables are competitive to the high price that exists right now. It reduces food waste, and it makes less financial harm towards the producers who actually create these. This financial harm towards wastage is so big, in fact, that it contributes to the worldwide food waste of $1 trillion.
Also imagine that there is a place as big as China that produces food yearly that's never going to actually be eaten by anyone.
Roughly about 1.3 billion tons of food that are meant for human consumption get either lost or wasted every year.
And the food wasted by the United States and Europe only could feed the world 3 times over. So the solution that we have created offers cheap produce, it creates reduced waste, and creates a healthy eating lifestyle for many people. Now, the actual product consists of 3 main components. We have the produce, which is misshapen and blemished produce for low prices. We have the storage, which is warehouses based in countries which will deliver these produce. And of course, we have the delivery, which through our delivery system will be delivering fruits and vegetables what you want and when you want it.
Now, our business plan consists of 4 main points. First of all, our goal is to raise awareness, and this will be implemented through marketing. Second of all, we will collaborate with NGOs and producers, such as farmers. Thirdly, in business development, we want to expand globally, and as it concerns research and development, we will constantly be making improvements in our user interface through AI technology. Now, the reason the market is ideal for Agro is because there is an opportunity to expand since it's scalable. There is an ongoing healthy eating trend, which is making the best time for Agro to develop. And thirdly, due to lack of competition. Now, through this slide, you can actually see how Agro is superior to all other alternatives, since it is much cheaper and the most convenient of all. As not only you can order with the push of a button, but it can also be delivered on your doorstep. Lastly, we did our research by ourselves, and we went to some various shops, and we found out why Agro can be superior than them.
So, now let's talk numbers. Financially, assuming we get a 160,000 euros loan, we have 0 capital, and we don't have any major customers or stakeholders such as NGOs that make large orders. In the first year, having an average of 15 kilograms produced in a 10 years receipt, and having 100 of those receipts per day, we make a profit of 55,000 euros for our first year, and then 215,000 for our second. Then, with 150 receipts, that sums up to about a net profit of 133,000, and then 293,000 for the second year. And then finally, with 200 receipts, you can make a profit of 270,000 and 430,000 for the second. Oh, sorry. Our growth strategy consists of three phases. Our first phase is to establish presence in the worldwide market, establish our warehouses in Cyprus and Greece, and then cooperate with local governments and later other NGOs. Then in our second phase, we want to gradually expand in the Balkans, cooperate with big multinational organizations such as WFP and FAO, and also create the first agro offices to monitor many of the countries we have. Then in phase 3, we want to establish warehouses in Italy, Spain and Portugal, basically reach many Mediterranean countries, and then steadily again expand in Europe and establish our European headquarters to monitor all of our process. This is our 2-year action plan. We have mentioned many of these actions before, but I want to mainly focus on the establishment of our first warehouse in Athens and then in Cyprus. Also, we will open our offices there as well, and we're working on monitoring our effort and then also seeing how our marketing goes.
Finally, due to time constraint, we won't talk a lot about our team, but it consists of us 3 members and of course our advisor, Mr. Ziros, which we thank. And we would like to use like 5 seconds just to show you that we have already started working on a website in order to see how this would work. Sorry. Which will consist of the store. Right now, obviously, everything is out of stock, but it will consist of a store. It has... And we've started already to develop slowly how it could actually come out. So, thank you.
Bravo. Well done. Excellent. Okay, so time for questions.
Thank you very much. Excellent presentation. Good understanding of the problem. Have you asked your potential customers about the perception of your positioning and product?
Actually, when we first thought about this idea, we found out that over 70% of consumers worldwide have answered to a statistic which has said that they would actually not mind buying these kind of products if they could know that the taste would not be altered. So we are trying to make this even more we're trying to make this perceived by supermarkets too, but we want to start by us trying to deliver these products to people.
There's also if you offer them at a lower price, people will be more inclined to buy them as well. So you have also that thing to make them more adaptable to other solutions.
Okay. One more, yes.
Excellent presentation. Very nice layout of the presentation. The time frames, the business plan, the surveys you did. And I would like to ask you, what was the initial idea?
Well, our initial idea actually started to create shops which would sell these kind of products. But while we were trying to analyze the budget, mainly because of the large Greek taxation, especially for creating a store, we decided that it would be much better if we had one large warehouse instead of multiple small stores, as also it would be accessible to even more people, and it would be only one warehouse, whereas it would have less employees and even less work for an even bigger market.
We also got a lot of comments to implement technology in our idea, and we adapt, and this is our mission as a company, to adapt, constantly adapt. So we took these ideas and created a second form for our project.
Great. Good luck with συνεταιρισμούς in Greece. No, I'm joking.
Great, okay. I think we're okay.
Thank you.
Congratulations again. Okay, 2 minutes. Whatever. Okay, great. So, when you're ready, let's go.
No. She couldn't believe it.
No, don't.
They couldn't believe it would happen.
I can't. I don't want to.
But you leave it away.
No!
But why?
Absence of information concerning transplants in Western developed countries is an ongoing issue that has caused hundreds of thousands of deaths in the last decades.
Including many innocent children. Approximately 20 people die every day waiting for transplants.
While every 10 minutes, another patient is added in the waiting list. The immediate need for transplants outnumbers donors.
During 2016, 135,860 transplantations were realized, fulfilling only 10% of the actual need, being 1,200,000.
At the same time, non-governmental organizations allegedly occupied with sensitization activities are under-functioning. A prominent example is the one of the National Transplant Organization in Greece.
But what about the rest of Europe?
The intensity of the problem remains the same. For example, in 2013, there were 65.3 donors per million of population, whereas in 2017, the number has dropped to 53.1 donors in total. Nonetheless, there are countries where organ donations are part of people's mentality.
But is the US also affected by this lack of donors?
Well, certainly. In the USA, more than 114,000 patients, from whom more than 200 are minors, are on the National Transplant Waiting List since August 2017.
But why, though?
Well, the lack of donors and the lack of information during the past decades has deteriorated the situation. Many haven't even distinguished the difference between organ donation and organ trade. You see, it's like a vicious circle.
People are not aware of the ability to donate. Therefore, there aren't sufficient grafts for transplants.
Thus, organ trafficking expands as speculators take advantage of patients in need to survive, providing them with horrendously acquired grafts in exchange with an enormous amount of money.
And due to the publicity this apparent phenomenon takes, people misconceive the meaning of becoming organ donors. They are afraid of the perspective of being maltreated and intentionally left to die.
But that's totally absurd. The deontology applied to nursing personnel strongly condemns such actions.
It's even against the Hippocratic Oath, specifically stating that I will lend to the helpless sick and I will abstain from all intentional wrongdoing and harm.
Εσελεύσω με επωφελή καμνόντων εκτός αιών πάσης αδικίας και φθορής. Έκουσης και φθορής, as the prototype declares.
Do something for her. Don't let her leave.
Wait.
I won't take everything with me. I won't.
No, you won't.
No, you won't.
I will always be here.
Always.
They could stop it. They could, and they did. And that's the purpose of our product.
We established an NGO called Holding Lives, aiming for the sensitization of citizens.
Our purpose is to achieve information through media campaigns and motivational speeches.
A purpose that no other NGO has ever aimed to accomplish.
In addition, international cooperation is our ultimate goal.
Since this is the solution for the disproportion of organ tissue donations between similar countries.
In fact, we tackle an ongoing issue from a radically different perspective. We help all those in need, and that's what makes us unique.
And all this cost-free. We've created what every state should have thought of: zero budget.
After all, investments need a solid ground to be created.
In fact, and cost efficiency is ours. In fact, that's what Mr. Kondopeidis, founder of Humane, admired in Holding Lives. We proved that everything is possible.
And that's what gives him courage, since he is also affected by our subject, suffering as he is from cystic fibrosis and in need for immediate lung transplantation.
But what have we done so far?
Well, we've created a website for people to get to know what the responsibility concerning the so-called issue is.
We have promoted our product via internet platforms and social media.
We've designed our logo and to care for Project image, and we're about to hand over a sample of our leaflets that are to be distributed by volunteers every Sunday in different regions.
We've contacted other organizations such as Humane in order to cooperate, and we're stand by for any people wishing to share their story with us and pose questions.
But also, we aim to create the necessary circumstances in order to obtain the consultative status in Economic and Social Council of United Nations.
We got informed.
We got shocked.
We got sensitized.
We took action.
Support us.
Now it's time for leaflets and cookies.
Also, you can see in the projector our website, which, as an IT manager, I created. We have special sections to spot the problem, to see what has already been done, to see our proposals, but also for people to share their stories with us and be able to influence others. So go and subscribe to our website and also like us on Facebook and Instagram.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. So, oh, by the way, because, you know, we had the cookies and all that, we have a lunch break later on, okay? So, okay, let's have the questions now, please.
Thank you for making us aware of this significant problem and your solution. I'm pretty sure you mentioned that, but I want to get a little bit more on the financials and the financial sustainability of your proposal.
So, as we mentioned in our presentation, however, due to time constraints, it was a little difficult to emphasize on this. We think that our innovation is that we managed to create all this with zero budget, no personal expenses. So, what we believe is that investments need a solid ground, need a base to be created, and this basis will be our cost efficiency and the fact that we managed to do all this without using any money. So any investors would appreciate this. And also this opportunity that's given to us through Diamond Challenge is a really big opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Are you going to approach pharmaceutical companies for money?
Well, sorry. Do you want to answer this?
Yes, probably. We're thinking about it, but we are still in a very primary stage, as you can understand. So it's an option.
Yes. However, we have approached Humane, as we mentioned in our project, and also we aim to, let's say, come close to other pharmaceutical companies that are really interested in this kind of subjects.
Okay. Well, one comment from me. My husband had a kidney transplantation 3 years ago, so the waiting list in Greece was 6.5 years.
Yes.
In UK, 2.5. We did it in UK, and we are very lucky to have his brother to give his kidney. So we have a lot of expertise there. So if you need any help from my family, I will be more than pleased to give you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's exactly what inspired us. That like most of the families have suffered this issue.
My grandmother as well.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I think we're done.
Okay.
Excellent
Thank you so much.
presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, let's allow a couple of minutes to clear the stage. And let's see which is the 8th group. Telemedica.
Thank you. Okay, we're ready. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Alex.
I'm Panagis.
And with our classmate Harris, we created Telemedical. Well, let's get things from the very beginning, though. There are those moments in life when you realize that you are not always capable of protecting those around you. You might find yourself in an emergency situation, and most chances you wouldn't even know how to react. I myself lived as an instant back in summer 2018. I was on a remote beach, and a young child about 3 years old was drowning in front of me. And God blessed him, there was a doctor nearby who after all provided the child first aid techniques and saved his life. And that got me thinking, what if there wasn't a doctor nearby? My role in creating Telemedical is a follow-up on the wish I made that day to replace luck as the intermediary in life-threatening situations. I started searching deeper and deeper into the problem, to the point that I realized that a variety of articles have been written, all mentioning this worldwide problem of ambulance delays. We read articles at BBC, CNN, the newspaper Kathimerini, who we contacted, and they told us that they would be interested to learn about our idea. And we found out some really interesting statistics. Well, why don't we let the numbers do the talking? 400 drowns annually on a national level. More than 300,000 drowns annually on an international level. 3,000 heart attack victims could be saved if 90% of emergency calls were answered on time. And about 2,500 lives a year are being lost due to ambulance delays. Our mission is to enhance the existing ways of advanced life support treatment. We use technology in order for you to be able to contact medical professionals. And in modern societies, when you do not even know who's actually living next door, we aim to bring our communities closer, starting by saving lives. Therefore, telemedical has three main features: contact professionals using GPS location, a video conference with a medical expert, and an offline mode full of instructions and techniques.
We live in a world where we truly don't know the professions around us. And this is the thing with doctors. If we knew that there was a doctor 3 blocks away from us, we'd contact the doctor, the ambulance, and the doctor. So this is what the first feature of this app does. It is a map that locates doctors that are qualified under our standards, and with a push of a button, will be right at your door providing help to the ones you love. But that you might say, what if there is traffic on the road? Well, the map locates doctors close to your proximity, therefore they will always be faster than the ambulance. And what if there is no doctor around? This is why we have the second feature, a video call service, where again, the user, with a push of a button, can have the doctor passing vicariously information that can be detrimental to the patient's needs. But what if the user doesn't have internet or mobile data? This is the reason why we have the third feature, which is an offline mode with instruction techniques, basically a seminar in your phone for the user to have and be ready when the moment comes and needs to protect his family. And we contacted the doctor, and he has told to us that he would be available, and that other doctors would be available for this service. And our idea is a new and innovative path to paramedics. So for all this to work, we need legal background and IT infrastructure, right? So on the legal basis, we consulted a lawyer, and we created our own terms and conditions that don't make the doctor liable for the actions of the user. On the IT department, we consulted an IT company and created this model exactly like Microsoft Azure, which is basically using cloud computing, making our servers agile, resilient, scalable, with high availability. Therefore, our servers are always going to be up.
Well, in order for our app to act as a viable business model, we cooperated with insurance companies. Telemedical will be an add-on based on an already live insurance contract. Therefore, insurance companies will act as our beneficiaries and our revenue streams. Well, after cooperating with the insurance company and the IT company, we decided that the total cost for the app development is going to be 43,000 euros. The telemedical package deal is going to cost only 20 euros, of which the insurance company is going to take 12 euros and we are going to get 8 euros. The monthly cost subscription for 10,000 users for the IT infrastructure is going to be 800 euros. If we multiply this by 6 and divide by 10,000, we get the user cost subscription. Subtracting this from the 8 euros that we have, we get 7.52 euros profit per subscription. If we multiply this by 3,000 users, we get 22,560 euros in 6 months. Which means that if we add a help desk and marketing campaigns, we will reach our depreciation in less than 2 years. And if you're wondering what's the impact of this app, and if you're wondering how are we gonna change the world, no more will a life be lost due to ambulance delays. Each and every life counts. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on with the questions from the jury.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Just a quick question. How many... This is a subscription service, yeah? And you're going to sell it as an add-on, for example, with insurance companies that sell to other customers, insurance policies or whatever else. How many users do you need?
In order for this to have profit, in order to be liable?
It's an app.
It's an app.
So it needs to have a very, very fast growth scale.
Exactly because
outlook.
we believe that the selling point is protecting your own family, and because we show you the numbers, we show you that it's a real problem and it's a low price, we expect a lot of users in order to be in the service, right? So we believe that in the first year, the 3,000 we have put is, we believe, one of the lowest estimates because we go international. So we believe that in a year we're going to reach that number, and 3,000 is going to be with 3,000 we're going to be able to sustain it, and we're going to be able to make profit from it. And if we have 3,000, likely there are more to come.
I think that you are ready for the investor. Let's go back in time, and you are at that beach, and the same incident happens. So what will you do?
Okay, so as I mentioned in the idea origin, there was a doctor there in the beach. So I wouldn't know that there was a doctor there, but if I was able to open the app and just check the locations that there are doctors nearby, my proximity, I would search for a doctor who would be nearby. Therefore, because in a remote beach, the island was Chios, I was in Chios, a Greek island, and in the remote beach, we would wait for the ambulance more than 30 minutes probably. And the nearest hospital, it's 45 minutes away. Therefore, searching for a doctor or even video call or having a video call with a doctor who would help you, tell you how to do a CPR, for example, or if you have read the offline mode techniques for CPR and first aid techniques, you would be able to provide help to the people in need. It would change the whole philosophy. Thank you for your question.
Okay. Thank you very much for the lovely presentation. I would like to ask, the more doctors are registered in the platform, the higher the value of the platform, right? So how do you consider approaching the doctors and make them register in your application?
Well, basically the doctor is going to be paid by the insurance company of the person in need, right? And therefore, he will only be paid if he actually is in action. While he's not in action, he's not going to get paid. Therefore, the money that he's going to receive is going to add as an add-on to his already high salary, right? So he's more than willing to participate exactly because he's going to receive more money in the future. And this is by actually approaching doctors in hospitals, by going to private clinics, it is likely that we're going to find them. In order for them to be registered in a platform, we need them to have the criteria that we need, basic diplomas and other diplomas that needed to be in the service. So we're going to reach them in the hospital and the clinics.
Great. Thank you very much again.
Thank you very much.
Great, guys. So, okay, thanks. So 3 more groups to go. Let's see which will be our 9th group to present.
Eventmo is a web platform that consists of philanthropic events organized by itself for third parties. But these are just words. What do they mean? Let's hold that thought and we're going to talk about it later after we introduce to you what the problem we're trying to solve is. So, philanthropic organizations generally face lack of funding and limited awareness. These issues are connected to each other. Concerning insufficient funds, they use them for advertising and for supporting the cause they're made to do. And let's see how these affect each other. Advertising generally is supposed to secure more funds in the future, and having limited awareness is a direct result of not having enough funding in order to spend on advertising. So how do we solve these issues? Let's see our product. So our product is a platform, and it has donation options for every philanthropic organization that is going to take part in it. Also, there is the single ticket option, because as we said before, you're basically going to be choosing between events made by philanthropic organizations. Just, for example, a concert in which the the proceeds go into a philanthropic organization that organizes it. Along with that, you have the ability to subscribe for events organized by us, Eventmo. We're going to see where the profits from them go in a little bit later, but what's important to know is that there are going to be 3 subscription plans: Bronze, Silver, Gold. Bronze 2 passes, Silver 4, and Gold gives you unlimited access as well as an early ticket release, which means that you're always going to be able to go to the event of your choice if you decide to do so. What does our solution achieve? A boost in viewer traffic. That means more chances of people actually buying a ticket or a subscription. That way, maximizing the number of tickets sold and thereby increasing the net income of a PO. So let's take a look at our competition. It's mainly consisting of Facebook and TicketPass. Facebook is not even an event-themed website. It's about people. And even though there are some event-related features, it's way too big to regulate and have only official events. It doesn't incentivize ticket sales, and it's not strictly philanthropically themed. That will hurt their sales of tickets. So then it's TicketPass. And TicketPass basically has a similar subscription mechanism, but is generally event-themed. It doesn't have the philanthropical goals, nor the system that incentivizes the ticket sales. But, next, please. But what is that incentive that I've been talking so much about on our beneficiaries? So, basically, we take our profits. We make profits through subscriptions. Organizing an event takes a certain cost of money. We're not going to get into specifics so far. But what happens is that after depending on the number of tickets sold, you're going to get a bonus by your company as a PO. So the philanthropic organization, let's say, sells 200 tickets. They get per ticket a certain amount of money from our profits, depending monthly on what we make. But our advantages in general are our philanthropic theme, pretty self-explanatory, our innovative use of profits that I just explained, and what happens with the focused consumer base. This is about people that are joining our platform, the customers. We're going to talk about more about them later. They basically are interested in learning about other philanthropic events. They care about being volunteers. And that means, previous slide please, and that means that they have more chances of actually buying a subscription or a ticket. Finally, we have more control over the content displayed due to our size. That is our advantage compared to our competition in terms of scalability, because we only have to worry about websites that have to do with POs, not whatever, just like Facebook. That means that it's much easier for us to regulate what kind of philanthropic organizations are going to be in our site, which gives us so much more control over having a better content in general, thereby making for a better service. So now, next slide. So how do we get that traction? First of all, let's meet our customers. They're mostly volunteers that like attending events. Maybe they're fans of personalities displayed on these events. Like, for example, when Saki Ruva goes for deforestation, maybe I'll go for reforestation. Maybe I'll just go to plant a tree because of Saki. We don't care about the incentive behind the good action. We care about the result. We care that forests are going to be recreated. We care that the child in Africa is not going to starve to death tomorrow. And the next slide, please. So what happens is that these people actually exist. 100 of them volunteers exist in Europe alone, 60 million in the US, and 1.5 million POs are, again, in the US alone. So this means that people exist, POs exist, and the volunteers exist. What doesn't exist is a service to get them together easily. So we believe that Event Mode does that. Thank you.
Thank you, and let's have the questions now.
Do you have a plan to attract and address either the NGOs or the consumers, the customers, the individuals, and bring them together?
Okay, so to answer your question, I will analyze the incentives of both sides. A volunteer can just use the platform. They can just see the services, and if they like something, they can get a ticket. What happens with the side of the philanthropic organization is that they have nothing to lose. There is no fee in order to get on our website. Stealing from organizations we do not consider to be ethical, so a site can just go there. And they have everything to win and nothing to lose, because basically they are going to get that bonus that we talked about through the profit mechanism. If they sell tickets through our website, that gives them incentive to sell more tickets through our website, thereby making our platform bigger. We can just approach philanthropic organizations, and because it takes 15 minutes to make a site inside the platform, we don't see any reason why they wouldn't participate.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for the questions. Congratulations once again. So, one of the good things is that we're exactly on plan. I mean, seriously, this is excellent. We're doing well. So let's see who the 10th team is going to be. Okay, Mother's Agency Village. Here you are, okay. Just help yourselves, and we can start in a minute. Okay.
So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are the team of Mother's Agency Village, a non-profit organization that will be providing single mothers with childcare assistance, support, job opportunities, and advice in order for them so that they can work or attend a college, in order for them to improve their life, become independent, and raise their children.
So here are some statistics. As you can see, in Europe, 29% of the population are unemployed single mothers. Moreover, in Greece, 67% of the children that were given for adoptions come from single motherhood families. And lastly, in America, 23% of families consist of children and a single mother. So, every day, both single mothers and their children face their own problems. Firstly, single mothers with low financial or social status are not given opportunities to further raise their studies or finish them, and find a job that will make them really productive, independent, and able to raise their child properly. The main reason is that they don't have any safe place to leave their children as many hours as they need to go to work or attend college, so they can develop themselves. The kindergartens can offer a shelter only for specific hours. That's why they have low incomes and they develop psychological problems. In addition, children that come from a single motherhood family, they are affected too. They face discrimination, isolation, and bullying in their everyday life, and they are not given the same opportunities. Finally, they are more likely to live in poverty and be involved in crime. Both mothers and children need support and guidance.
So, generally, in most countries, single mothers receive financial aid from the government, or they have some kind of discounts in buying some specific products or services, in order, which, however, does not help them just to survive, but not to improve their life and create a better future for them and their families. So our solution is to establish a non-profit organization that will be working as an agency office and will be mentoring and helping single mothers find job offers, while encouraging them to further their studies, finish school, attend college and find a job, or start their own businesses. Simultaneously, this organization will be working as a daily home shelter for children, where single mothers will have the ability to leave their children there, who will be surrounded by specialists while they're working or studying. In this way, mothers will have the ability to find a job and educational opportunities, become independent and chase their dreams, while their children will be surrounded by specialists. They will live in a healthier environment without feeling insecure, and they will develop social skills. So, although our organization will be run by volunteers, and many of our equipment will basically be coming by donations, we still have some financial costs that we will need to cover. Those are the salaries of the specialists, the psychologists and cooks and etc. Little taxes, rents and insurances and utilities for our buildings and facilities, and equipment such as stationery, toys and food.
So about the facilities, we will have 1 or 2 playgrounds, a main office where the mothers will submit their CVs or their requests, a kitchen where the kids will eat their lunch, a medcare center, and finally the children's shelter. In the working crew sector, we will have 10 to 12 people divided into cooks, secretariats, cleaning staff, and specialists that will take care of the children. Our sources of revenue, as you can see, will be volunteers, donations, sponsors, and offers, as well as once women have a job, they will pay a small amount to the organization. Also, we will organize crowdfunding campaigns, events such as bazaars, fun parks, or marathons, and we will sell handmade products made by mothers, volunteers, and children.
Okay, so we want to thank these companies for promising us that if we actually make this organization come to life, that they will help us and support us financially. And this is our social media account, our Instagram account. We encourage everyone to follow and support us and contact us through it. So let's create a better future for single mothers and their children. Thank you very much.
Great. Okay, so questions.
Thank you very much for the very inspiring presentation. I think this is something very much needed in the Greek society. I would like to ask you, in order to minimize the dependence upon volunteers and offers and donations, have you considered, at least in the future, other possible streams, revenue streams, okay, other type of activities, where else you could, get money from, but through commercial activities?
So actually I mentioned about events such as bazaars, fun parks, and marathons. Let's say in fun parks we will organize a Sunday, we'll invite children to come and play with, let's say, toys or magicians, and they will pay a small ticket, $3 to $5 or euros, it depends. And that in this way we can raise money to fund the company and pay for some costs.
Okay. Just a suggestion, you could also consider other activities sold to educational activities, sold to people, to companies, okay, training in the company's personnel who can afford to pay, and use this money in order to cover the social needs and the expense of the company.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentations. Are you going to have a role to this company, you two? And what kind of role do you like to have?
Me? Well, we are equal in this group, and of course I'm not the leader. The leader of the company actually is absent, but we're all equal here, and we cooperate together for a better future for the mothers.
But are you going to have a teaching role or a financial or to bring funding? What do you like to do for this company?
Actually, in this project, I worked as, I created the business component and the source of revenue, and Antonia created the costs and...
the financial costs.
Yes, and the leader created the problem and the solution. So I think that the roles will be divided like how we made the project.
Just a quick question. Thank you very much for the presentation. I assume that you will start building these establishments where you're going to offer the services in Greece. It's an assumption. So my question is, where would you put the first one? And how many of these establishments do you think you can set up in the next 12 months?
Actually, we thought in a region that has gardens or pure environment, and we think that in the next 12 months we can establish one main office, one room for the children, a playground, and the kitchen, because it's what we can rent to place the company. Yeah.
Thank you for touching on this significant problem and issue. Can you tell us what is the percentage of single mothers among the total population of mothers?
Actually, do you want in Greece or in Greece? It's 67% of the general population of mothers. Sorry.
Okay, I think we're done for time. Congratulations once again. Thank you very much. And there's one group left, okay? It's Krabby Patty.
Robert, can we clarify something?
Please, yes.
It is
Sorry.
6% or 7%, not 67%. Right?
Yeah, the percentage of... yeah,
It's
it can't be 67.
around
It's-
7%.
It sounds... Yeah.
Or 6, right?
67.
67%. Really?
Mothers right now are single mothers.
Wow.
Are you sure that's not Sweden?
Yeah, I didn't know. Wow.
Τελευταία, μόνο.
Wow. Thank you.
How does it feel having to wait for the entire, 10
okay.
teams?
No
And
worries.
being eager to say everything.
No worries. I'm just sad that the surprise got a bit ruined because somebody
Sure,
deleted the first slide. But
Okay,
it's okay.
we're ready. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today to answer a lifelong question that has been bothering more than 56 million people. What makes a Krabby Patty so great? What makes all the fish go crazy and feel like going to heaven about it? Well, the Krabby Patty secret formula has not yet been divulged, and it is being kept safe in Mr. Krabs' secret vault. But my team and I, we think we may have the answers, and they are shocking. Are you ready to find out? It's microplastics. As microplastics are defined plastic particles smaller in size than 5 millimeters. The information is simple. After plastic objects are thrown to the ocean, they continuously broken down into smaller parts, the microplastics. Marine species are very likely to ingest them, for they can be easily confused with food. And undeniably, this poses risks to their health, including excessive brain damage, which leads to changes in behavior and inevitable death. Guess the Krabby Patty really sends the fish to heaven after all. According to Plymouth University, 700 marine species are currently being led to extinction due to plastic pollution. Nonetheless, as written in the book of Proverbs, whoever digs a pit will fall into it, and a stone will come back on him who starts it rolling. Thus, the presence of microplastics in the world's oceans also affects us humans. And especially the densely populated areas such as China, Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines, who are also responsible for a huge amount of marine microplastic debris due to their goods production. But how do we get affected anyway? After plastic chemicals enter the marine food web, it is only imminent that they enter the human food chain as well. And health risks are posed to humans in the long term, including hormone imbalances, cardiovascular and mental health issues, and cancer, and the list goes on. But even if people were to stop consuming fish, which is something very unlikely, that wouldn't solve the issue for us. For healthy marine ecosystems are essential for human well-being. And the aforementioned areas, who are responsible for the most of the marine microplastic debris, would be affected greatly because their economy heavily depends on their exports via sea. So what can we do to save ourselves and the bikini bottom? So all vessels have systems that utilize seawater, and when they're done with it, they throw it back into the ocean. It's like a circuit, basically. And one could possibly categorize the systems into the seawater cooling systems and the ballast tanks. And the main difference that we should be taking under consideration right now is that the ballast tanks work while the vessel is at the port, whereas the seawater cooling systems work while the vessel travels from one port to another. Now, our proposed solution is that a filter is implemented in these systems as to extract the microplastics from the water before it is dumped back into the ocean. Similar filters have been implemented on all vessels before, but for other environmental issues, such as some for gases and some for the marine life that will get stuck in the ballast tanks. So, therefore, the implementation of just another filter is absolutely feasible. So this filter will consist of two parts, a non-woven sheet intended for the larger microplastics, and a activated carbon block for the smaller ones. And both parts are extremely cheap and environmentally friendly. So now for the solution is not very specific, it will help tackle the issue on a broader scale. While vessels follow their own routes, they will simultaneously filter the water in various locations in the world's oceans. And what is more,
sorry. And what is? Oh no. Okay. And
No,
what
don't
is
worry
more?
about it.
Because more vessel routes originate near the more densely populated areas. This will help tackle the issue effectively in the most affected ones. So as you can see, like China has many vessel routes. Okay, now our idea is cost-effective mainly for three reasons. Because we're using an already existing system, we're just making a minor modification in it. Secondly, because technology needed for the filter already exists, so there's no need for money to be spent on research. And lastly, because both of our filter FARs are affordable. Okay. Now, how are we going to execute this concept? Firstly, we will crowdfund a startup company to produce sample devices to demonstrate our product's feasibility and effectiveness. Oh, no. Our product's feasibility and effectiveness. Okay. Sorry for that. Then, we will proceed with patent registration, so that in the future we can generate income through royalty earnings. And lastly, for a prerequisite is that, for the idea to be scalable, is that it has to be enforced by global regulations, and the international authorities need to persuade the local governments to impose the implementation of this filter on all vessels, that we have to seek the help of NGOs, such as Algalita, Five Gyres, Clear Ocean Blue, and Greenpeace, who have their ways to reach the international bodies. And closing up this presentation, as a team leader, I would like to thank all of you for your attention. The other member of my team, Marianne Glayu, who unfortunately is not here with us, but most importantly, my dad for supporting me through this experience, and my uncle, Kostas Fragoulis, the oceanologist whose concept we're trying to make a reality. Thank you. Okay.
Great. So let's have the questions. You made it. It's okay now. You can relax
Yes,
now.
I made it.
Thank you very
We
much
did
for the
face some
presentation. Just a very quick question. So basically, this device will be bought by whom?
By engineers, of course. Like the people who fix the vessels. and
Shipping
they-
companies. Shipbuilding companies or
Yeah.
companies that have a shipping fleet?
You mean that way? Of course, the shipbuilding companies. Whoever owns a ship will have to.
Okay. And what would be the reason for these companies to buy the specific filter?
Because it will be implemented by, it will be forced by global regulations. As I aforementioned, other filters like these have been implemented before, so it's not something feasible to do something like this again, just for the microplastics and not.
This is extremely creative. Congratulations for the idea and the support of father and uncle. Now, can you tell us who is actually your customer?
My customers, all ship owners. I mean, yeah. I mean, they have to. And even if we
yeah.
start with one single country, let's say which starts small, let's say China, which is the most affected one. If they impose this filter on vessels, because there's a lot of exports and imports from other countries to China, vessels that have to come in China will have to have this as well. So one country will fall after the other. It's like the domino effect, but in like for the microplastics, imagine, like for the filter. So in order to enter China, the other countries, they have to impose the filter as well.
I understand that it's crucial for this to work, that you have the global regulation, first of all. But I understand that you put this as an add-on to the ballast systems.
Initially, we thought of solely imposing this on the ballast tanks, but then we realized that this wouldn't make much of an effect because that would only clear the areas and temporarily in the ports. So we decided to put it in both the ballast tanks and the seawater cooling systems so that this will work continuously while the vessel travels. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I think, congratulations first of all.
Thank you.
Great. Oh, okay, we'll just leave it here. Okay, so let's applause all 11 teams for excellent presentations, excellent ideas, well delivered. Okay, so we're 5 minutes late, but it's okay. I think we'll make up for the time. So we'll have a lunch break now. we've prepared lunch boxes for students, and parents can grab something to buy in the cafeteria. And we'll reconvene at 1 o'clock sharp, okay, to see which of the 11 brilliant teams has eventually won the ticket to Delaware. Yeah. Absolutely, yes.
Because I'm not going to be back at 1 o'clock, I
Okay.
have to leave. I would like to mention something very important, I think. I had today the privilege to see some very talented young people. And I would like to ask you to enjoy the journey. I know that now you're thinking the Ithaki, and the Ithaki right now is in April. But you have so many Ithakis in front of you. So let's try to be positive. Let's try to have goals in our lives and enjoy the journey. Excellent job. Thank you very much.
The agony index is up to here. all the teams are... Okay. So, get settled. Okay. I would suggest that each one of you gives, a little speech, comment of how, before actually announcing the winner, of what did you think of all the teams, generally, a kind of conclusion. Would that be okay? And after we'll proceed with the announcements. So.
You want to be specific in regard with the
No, I would like a general impression of...
wow. Wow.
And wow.
And wow again. I was not expecting this. I have to be honest with you. When I was coming in this morning, I was not expecting to be a witness to a pitching presentation of more than 10 ideas, products, services, prototypes, whatever you want to call them, that had the level of preparedness, the level of clarity, and the level of professionalism in the delivery that I saw today. Congratulations, guys. Seriously. I mean, like, wow.
Yes, because I'm teaching them how to do that. We are teaching at DRI how to build a business plan and a business model, activities, etc. And I'm also a judge, every year, many times in pitches by real professionals who have double your years. So I have been very, very impressed. I want to emphasize that it doesn't matter who is going to be the winning team at all. Most of the times we learn through our failures because we reflect upon that and what we could do better. So you are all winners, okay? You deserve the best. You have great potential. Each and every idea had great potential and can be further improved, and you have great professors to support you in that. So I would encourage you to keep up the amazing work you currently do and to keep inspiring people, because you do inspire people with what you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. From my side, I would say I'm impressed. It was one of the best sessions that I have for the last years. I mean, it's amazing to be here with all these ideas, with young people. And what I will take back when I go home today is that I learned a lot. I learned a lot of all these teams. I learned a lot of all of you guys. I mean, you teach me so much. And I will share what it was. You remind me that where is the will, there is also the skill. You are young people, and because you have the will, you manage to stand up and present better than every professional. The third thing is that you are so thoughtful. You are thoughtful because you didn't try to find something, an idea, just to make money, but you find something in order to solve a problem in the world. Most of you remind us the biggest challenge that we have as humans and as the whole globe, as community. And the third is that you remind me, and I learn from you, that whatever you do, you have to enjoy it. And today you show us that you make all this nice project and you enjoy it a lot as a team and as individuals. Thank you so much.
Good morning. I see something like 300 business plans every year, and I follow 50, 60 elevator pitches every year. I want to say that what we saw here today is exceptional. Congratulations, first of all, to the school, to the organizers of the event, for the inspiration that you provided to us. All of you are winners today. What happened today will be a changing life event for you. From what we have seen, from the business plans that you presented to us, we have seen that, first of all the 11 teams identified a real problem, a significant problem for our societies, and you provided a real solution to that. So that's very, very important. Connecting to the very inspirational speech of Professor Makios in the beginning. What we have seen here in the scene is very hopeful for our country, because in your faces we see the new Platos and the new Socrates and the new Aristotle. So congratulations again. We expect to see all the teams progressing their plans independently of today's winner. And as we have also said in our small meeting, we are also, after this event, here to support the teams to follow up with their plans. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Excellent comments to an excellent, I would say, audience, and to 11 excellent teams. You're winners, you're all winners. You showed stamina to prepare all these your piece of work. You were enthusiastic. You really enjoyed doing it. And I think you're winners in any case. But we have to learn eventually which is the team that will represent us in April at the University of Delaware, at the semifinals and the finals. So if I could have the name of the team that you have decided. Yes, please, yes.
Representing, first of all the judges, not only the ones that were present today, but also you know that there were virtual judges that also assessed the business plans a month ago or so. Anonymously, we have decided for the team that should represent the school and the country in this competition. As every competition, there are rules, and we have followed them precisely. We have gone through all the critical aspects of the competition. We try to see whether the team really understood the problem they are addressing, whether they are trying to solve a significant problem with a significant target group. We check whether they have validated the financially a sustainable idea. whether the team had the capacity, resources, and skills to execute the project, whether the proportion of people that you are addressing is significant and global, what will happen if what you propose as a solution is not implemented, what is the impact of the non-implementation of that, whether the solution will be long-lasting and sustainable, whether the model that you have proposed is really scalable at a global level, because we will be competing at a global level, and cost-effective. Last but not least, today we had also the capacity to score and to judge on the wow effect. That is your creativity, ingenuity, persistence, passion, and the storytelling. So based on all these factors, anonymously today, the judges are announcing the winner that will represent Greece, and this team is Agro.
Okay, gentlemen, please join us on the stage. Well done. Thank you very much. Greece is behind you. We're very proud of you, and we know that you're going to do a jolly good thing when you go to the States. Okay, congratulations once again. Okay, now, are you relaxed now, or is your heart is pounding?
I'm going to check their heart.
Yeah, we should.
A little high. A lot of high. Cool as ice. Congratulations.
Good, excellent, great. We're very proud of you. We're very proud of all the teams. And what we're going to do now is Principal Trujillo is going to give a token of our appreciation to the judging committee. If you would like to come on the stage, please, all four of you.
And Professor Giros.
Thank you very much.
Finish the procedure. Can you get a microphone?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Let's just finish this. Great. Start preparing for the stage, guys.
And I do want to thank the judges again for volunteering a day from their very, very busy schedules to come in. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. The kind offer to continue to work with the teams. So take advantage of it, peer students. As you say, entrepreneurship is learning from failure and doing great things more. So let's continue to do the wonderful things. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we would like to invite Professor Giros.
The man of the hour.
Yeah.
Thank you. Congratulations to all of you. I'm so proud of all of you. We have a written history today, and I'm sure that this constitution have to be for the years to come. Thank you.
Okay, so let's have all the teams join us on stage. There are certificates for every team, which I will pass to the leader. And let's have a family photograph, as we say. And let's wish the best of luck to these guys. Let's all applaud the excellent teams, the great personalities. Great. So let's take a few photos, and after, if the leaders can join me so I can give you the certificates. And so tall people in the back, yeah.
Λοιπόν, μετά θα σας πω με το 1, με το 2, με το 3, θα φωνάξουμε όλοι Pierce.
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Pierce! Okay, group leaders here, please. I have the awards right here. Plastic Eclipse. Here you go. Congratulations. Eventmo. Here you go. RoboAir. 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 Okay, well, here you are. Thank you, guys. Congratulations. ReShelter. ReShelter. Congratulations. Initially called Marine Microplastic Contamination. The Krabi. Agro. Transplants. Mothers Agency. Safe Move. And Telemedical. Congratulations to everybody. We're really proud of you guys. See you next year.